So it's time for my May TBR. For the theme this month, I kind of was all like, I don't want one. Basically what happened was I was like, basically when I pick my TBR, I pick one or two books and then pick a theme off of those books and then decide what other books will fall into that category. But this month, basically what happened is I just kept staring at my bookcase going, what book do I want to read? And then I picked the books that my eyes kept being drawn to. So that's how that went. I also went to the library and I wanted to put some of the library books that I got on my TBR. I'm condensing. That is the word I'm looking for. So for my physical book, we have Insurgent by Veronica Roth. This is the sequel to Divergent, which I reviewed a couple months ago. And I'm excited to read this. I'm already on chapter 3. For my second book, my Nook choice was The Throne of Fire by Rick Riordan. This is the second book in the Kane Chronicles, which is his Egyptian trilogy. And I really enjoyed the Kane Chronicles, the first book that I read, The Red Pyramid. I reviewed that back in December, so that would be in my 8 books in 10 minutes. So we follow, I believe the boy's name is Carter. Carter and Sadie as they continue to save the world from evil Egyptian things. For my non-YA book, I picked another Magic the Gathering book, Zendikar in the Teeth of Akko. Although I have to admit, I'm a bit nervous to read this one because when I was looking on Goodreads, this has a really low score, so all of the other Magic the Gathering books were relatively high in their scores, so I'm kind of nervous, but I did buy it, so I am going to read it, and I will know whether I like it by the end of the month. This is by Robert B. Wintermute. Because this is after Lara Unbroken, this is a standalone novel and encompasses the cycles Zendikar, Worldwake, and Rise of the Eldrazi. So for my book guilt book, I picked a book that I bought a long time ago and never read, and that is Matilda by Roald Dahl. Notice the now a major motion picture with the movie cover. That was what, 1996, 1995? This was probably from one of the first book orders I ever ordered from in school. And I've had it a long time and I've never read it. So we're going to resolve that this month, aren't we? Now we move on to the carryover books. Carryover books are books that I started in previous months that weren't on my TBR, but I didn't get a chance to finish them during the month, so they're carrying over into the next month. And this is so you can see what books are taking me a long time that aren't on my TBR, and so I can see what books are taking me a long time to read as well, so I can resolve that problem. So I have 2 books on my Nook that I haven't finished. The first one is carryover from February, and that is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. I just haven't been in the mood to read it for the last month and a half. The second book is carryover from March, and that is Forbidden by Ted Dekker and Tosca Lee. This is the first book in the Book of Mortals series, which is an adult dystopian series. And honestly, I kind of quit reading it because the characters were starting to annoy me a lot. I will continue reading it. Hopefully, the characters will stop being so pesky. Dialogue by Gloria Kimpton. I was going to read this for my Camp NaNoWriMo and then didn't finish it. So this is carryover from last month, so hopefully I will be able to finish it. And now I'm going to show you a mini library book haul. These are just the books I've checked out from the library, so I'll have them for the next 3 weeks or so. We have Insurgent by Veronica Roth, which is on my TBR, that you just saw. We have The Dark Moon Diary by Chi Gilson and art by Brett Ure. I reviewed this last month because I read it like a day or 2 after I checked out from the library. So if you want to see my review on that, I will put a link to yesterday's video, I guess. Then we have Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver. This is the second book in the Delirium series. I wasn't going to pick up Pandemonium right after reading Delirium. I was going to give myself the 3-week break. But I went into the library with a list of 15 books to check out. Just like go down the list until I got like however many I felt would be enough. And they didn't have like 12 or 11 of them. So I ended up getting Pandemonium because it literally, I just went through my list. So that probably means that if I go to the library next time and they have Requiem, I'm just going to get it. I got another book called Pandemonium. This is by Chris Wooding and Cassandra Diaz. This is, I guess it's a comic book. It's published by Scholastic. I checked out was Girl of Nightmares by Kinder Blake. This is the second book in the Anna Dressed in Blood series, and I am probably as equally excited to read this as I am Insurgent. So that was just like a mini library haul stuck at the end of my TBR and carryover video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will be back tomorrow with another video that isn't a TBR, a review, or stuff like that. And until then, TTYL.